So I've been studying body language for quite a few years now as a hobby, and I've even taken some college courses on it as well. And it's an invaluable tool to be able to detect if somebody's being deceitful or being honest. And you do that first by creating a baseline, by observing something that you know is truthful and watching the different gestures that they do. And if you watch this segment, I want you to watch a few things. First, watch his blink rate. His blink rate is fairly low when he's being truthful, at about 56. I want you to watch his eyebrows. His eyebrows stay level and relaxed. He's not up here in a believe me gesture. And also he is looking to the left, which is memory recall. So these three things alone are things that he will do when he's being truthful. So if he varies from these gestures, there's a good possibility that he's being dishonest.
Just wanted to make this video. You know, the last few days I've been going through all these TikToks and YouTube comments, guys, and it's really sad.
So now that we have some baselines established, watch this next segment. Now, in the very beginning, he has both palms up like this, which is a believe me gesture oftentimes, and can represent deception. He also looks to the right and slightly down, and we've already established that his memory recall is looking left and slightly down. So it can also be a sign of deception. He's also has a slight smirk on his face when he looks away, especially when he says that he's had bombs, the word bombs. He gets a slight smirk on his face, which can also, it's a tightening of the lips and can also represent deception. He's also shaking his head no slightly as he's saying these things, which is a telltale sign also oftentimes of deception.
No, I don't want to. I mean, guys, I've been to combat, I've gotten shot at, I've gotten bombs thrown at me. It doesn't matter, guys. You guys throw whatever you guys want at me.
Okay, in this next segment, he starts off by an abrupt pause, and he looks to the right and down, and he presses his lips together like this, which is also oftentimes a sign of dishonesty, like he's holding something back. That is a lie. His blink rate also increases to about 86 from the baseline of 56. So there's a significant increase in his blink rate, which again is oftentimes a sign of deception. He does shake his head yes when he says he's been to combat, but in my opinion, it's an over-exaggeration, meaning it's more of a believe me type of gesture, which is also a sign of deception. Then he also has a slight smirk on his face again when he's talking about, those who piss themselves. And it could be just he finds it fascinating, which, by the way, if that is the case, in my opinion, is also proof that he never saw combat, because he would not disrespect any of his comrades like that to begin with, because he finds it amusing that he's saying that and comparing that to those of us who are throwing stones at him. But these are clusters, and when you have a bunch of clusters together, it becomes more and more likely that he is in fact being dishonest. And there's also a place when he pauses before, in the very beginning, it looks like his eyes might be dilated, and maybe the lighting, but if in fact his eyes are dilated, which it does appear to be the case, that can also be a sign of deception. So there is a lot of clusters in here that makes it more than likely that he is in fact lying about being in combat.
Like I said, I've been to combat. I've never met a person more brave than this woman. Not even a man. Not even some of my brothers and sisters, the ones that talk the most, the ones that are throwing the most stones, they're the ones that piss themselves when they go to combat.